On Two Wheels this week, I travel to Nottingham to meet Pat Beel. She's the president of the Street Fighter Owners Club. I'll be finding out what exactly is a Street Fighter and what kind of people join the club. Also on Two Wheels this week, Jeff's at Donington Park for the launch of the European Superbike School. But first, it's time to join my friend Wayne on a road test.
Now, you know me and my scoots, I loves them, I really like them, but I'm always complaining because I want something bigger. Missus, anyway, and I have got something a bit bigger. I've got a 250 this time. It's this, the KTM Ego 250. Only last year I road tested the 125 and I was mightily impressed with it. I wonder if I'll be even more impressed with this. In fact, I've now got a bigger Ego. Here we go now, here we go. Hold on to your hats. I'm giving you the impression that this is going to pull my arms out of the socket. Well, not quite. Although it certainly shifts, and with the 4-stroke 20 brake horsepower engine linked with the CVT, which is a transmission that basically means it's in the right gear at the right time, joining the flow of traffic at a junction is easy and safe. You may have noticed that I'm riding with my feet forward. It certainly makes me feel very relaxed and is easy and as comfortable as riding a big tourer. Now I've got to say that this is really no different than any other scoot. The method of riding it is exactly the same and the overall appearance is just like most modern scoots. Very Italian really in its style. Now the difference between this and any other scoot really is attention to detail. There's no question about it, they've covered all aspects, but I have a criticism and I'm going to show you what that criticism is way back here under the seat. So here we go, under the seat, loads of room to put a crash helmet. Small problem, because that there, which covers the carburettor up, actually stops you putting in quite a lot of different styles of crash helmet. You can't fit the helmet in far enough to stop the seat going down. So if you've got an open face helmet, it's not a problem, and probably most people that use scoots do wear open face helmets. And of course, if you're riding the bike and you've got your helmet on, it's not a problem anyway, plenty of room to put your butties. That's my only gripe. Which I want to show you this though. This is exciting. I put my key in the ignition, turn the ignition on, look at that lot. LCD lights, loads of them. One rev counter, one which gives you the temperature of the coolant in the bike, even how good your battery is, the health of your battery. You've got one that tells you how much fuel's in it, and you've even got a clock which tells you the date as well. But one extra feature it's got, which is I think fantastic, is there's a temperature gauge to tell you the ambient temperature around, and the sensor's right down on the front here. And here it is. And I suppose if you're feeling a little bit queasy and chilly and you want to check whether you're healthy or not, you put your finger on it and it might even give you a reading to see what your temperature is. Oh, I don't feel so well myself actually. And then if it's a little bit chilly and you want to get just that bit warmer, look at that. Those are heated vents that blow onto your legs. They think of everything, don't they? But it's not just full of gimmicks and gadgets. They've put a lot of thought into the handling of this machine. For example, there is twin shocks on the back and many modern scoots only have one. The brakes too are a vast improvement on the days of old. Do you remember we all got excited about our Super Dreams and Yamaha RDs? They were only 250s and they went well, but stopping was a different kettle of fish. I have to say that this new 250 Ego rides as well as any modern motorcycle. Whether it's a fast day road or nipping in and out of a busy town, a scooter will do the job as well as any other bike. So this is the 250 version, the big brother of the 125. So what do they cost? Well, I'll tell you. They cost £2,495 125, and this is 500 quid more, 2,995 quid. Now every one of the manufacturers, every one of the suppliers do special insurance rates. They always have done when it comes to scoots and bikes. And the thing is, Peugeot, Yamaha, Piaggio, Suzuki, all of them do these special rates, and these guys are no exception. What KTM do for you now is a special rate, the same price for a 250cc machine at the moment as a 125. So someone like myself, who is just, and it kills me to tell you this, just that little bit older than 40, I know you find that hard to believe, can indeed insure this for 10% of the value of the machine. fully comp, which is just less than £300 fully comp. All in all, a great package and damn good value for money. Now you'll have to forgive me, I've got to shoot off now. I've got a little afternoon job, special part-time job. It's actually singing with the choir boys. I've got to go and put my frock on. All things bright and beautiful. Here we go now. Is she?
Now, if you own a Honda, you join the Honda Owners Club. If you own a Yamaha, it's the Yamaha Owners Club. Goldwing Owners Club. It's dead easy, and it's dead straightforward. But if you want to join the Street Fighter Owners Club, what kind of bike do you need? Well, let's find out. What better person to ask than the president, Pat Beel, president of the Street Fighter Owners Club, Pat. Yep. Grand title. So go on then, what bike do I need to join your club?
It's a difficult one, that. I mean, we get a lot of questions asking us whether it has to be the out-and-out Street Fighter or just the slightly modified or just a standard bike, you know. If they really love the lifestyle and want to be different, but they've not done anything to their bike, then yeah, they can join us, it's not a problem.
So you don't have to own a Street Fighter bike to be in your club?
No.
Right, that's good. So what's the definition of a Street Fighter? Is there one? What's your definition of a Street Fighter?
My definition is modified from the norm.
Okay.
If somebody's put an aftermarket can on it, straight bars, then yeah, you know, it's something you're not going to see on the road.
Right.
You know, if you've got a bike that is not going to be the next person's bike, then it's different from the rest.
Right.
And it's the lifestyle that goes with it.
But some of the bikes that I've seen on your stands when we've seen you at all the big shows and that, they're not. I mean, some of them are like this Fireblade with fancy fairings on and all polished bits and fancy calipers and all sorts. But some aren't. Some look to me like a standard bike. Yeah. So, what's typical of your club then?
Well, we go from the standard GSXR or standard Blade or whatever, and we go up to a £27,000 Martech.
I've seen that.
Yeah, it's a nice bike.
That's a bit
nice
special.
Bike.
He won't be bringing it out today, will he? There's a chance of rain this week.
At the moment, it's in the shops.
Oh, is it? Right.
Yeah,
right.
It's being done. It should be at Sheffield.
They spend a fortune on them, don't they, these guys?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a love. You know, they start a little bit and then they kind of go, I'll just do this bit and then I'll just do that bit, and then they get carried away.
Is it like a giant sort of DIY club? Do you all help each other? Like,
yeah, we've got a network now.
Have you?
I mean, that's the whole reason we started it up, was because we tried to build a Street Fighter, realised how much it cost,
yeah,
and went, Jesus, you know. So we thought, well, we've got a few friends, we'll get in touch with them, and they said, you know, why don't we do this? And ended up as my job.
Right, so you've got engineers and sprayers and
everything.
Bit of everything, have you?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We've got mechanics, so if one of the guys rings us up and says, oh, you know, I can't do this, I have no idea. Oh, well, give so-and-so a ring.
Right.
You know, and it works. It works really well.
How many members have you got?
Just topping 200 at the moment.
Wow. Yeah. Do you ever get them all together in one place?
Yeah, usually, well, Sheffield Arena's a big party.
That's the Street Fighter show, isn't it?
Yeah, big party.
Yeah.
And we've got regional reps as well, for all different areas, and it's coming along really well.
So do you have club meets and ride-outs and things and all that kind of thing?
It all depends which region is on which day.
So it's spread right throughout the country, is it?
And the United States as well.
Is it? In America?
Yeah, we've got a Street Fighter.
You spent a lot of time in America, haven't you?
Yeah, last year, setting it all up.
Yeah.
The guy over there needed some help, so went over there.
Are they into it, the Americans?
They're a bit behind us.
No, it's all right to say it, are they?
Yeah, they're about 10-15 years behind us. It's bizarre because when I went over there and had a look at theirs, I was like, oh Jesus, we were doing that a long time ago.
Right.
You know, but they're getting there.
So what have they got, modified Harleys?
No, GSXRs.
Do they have all the
blades and things like that. Yeah, there's a guy in New York, Stick Up Motorcycles. He's just been featured in the magazines and that, and Street Fighters USA, which is in San Francisco. So.
Oh right.
Yeah,
so it's an international scene now.
Oh yes.
Fantastic.
Oh, yes.
Do you ride a bike yourself, Pat?
Yeah, I've got a VFR 400.
Is that, well, go on, that must be modified then.
No.
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 So it's being modified.
You don't have to have a modified bike then to be a member of your club.
No, it's just
if you
the
just
whole
like,
love of it.
You just like the scene and looking at them, you can come and join.
Yeah, and we're all mad.
I know that.
Absolutely mad.
Oh, I know that. I know that. I spent enough time with you to know that. Yeah. So what does it cost to be in your club then, if I want to join?
It's £20 a year if you're employed, 15 if you're not, and 25 for joint membership.
So what's the big advantages then, Pat, of being in an owners club then?
Well, you get to meet the other owners. We're on call 24 hours. The guys can get in touch with us 24 hours a day. Right. If somebody breaks down, then we'll get somebody in the region to come and give them a hand or get them home or whatever.
Oh, right.
We've also got a website, streetfightersclub.co.uk.
Right.
So, you know, it's all about meeting each other.
Great stuff. Well, that's the club, that's the Street Fighter Owners Club. Next time we're here at Langer Airfield, which is somewhere near Nottingham, I think, we'll be meeting the owners, or some of the owners and some of the riders of these machines. And coming up after the break this week on Two Wheels, Jeff's at Donington Park for the launch of the European Superbike School.
Does this look familiar to you? It should do, because it's Donington Pit Lane, but this isn't a race day. This is a mixture day. This is a track day with speed freaks, but also it's a launch day for the European Superbike School. What's that? Well, they've got guys like Neil McKenzie and Frankie Kelly in it. Sounds interesting? You come with me and we'll see what it's all about. Tony Scott, you are the man behind the European Superbike School. It's a good job around here. We can hear one another a little bit better, can't we, than round the front. But tell me, what's the Superbike School about? Now, one thing I should say, we're here to Speed Freaks Day in the background, which is what all the noise is about, but what's your school actually about?
Well, I've been riding motorcycles since I was a legal age, but I actually tried my hand at racing when I was 36, which was quite late. And I discovered at that point that I really couldn't ride a motorcycle quite as well as I thought I could. On my very first race around Gerrard's at Mallory, I saw riders coming past me and I couldn't understand why. I was going as fast as I possibly could. What was it they knew that I didn't? And that started me off on a little voyage of discovery. And what I discovered is that these guys who are fast have a box of tools up here. And what I wanted to do was build a school that could give people that are coming to track days now, and there's so much of it, those tools to help them get faster.
So it's not just you're not messing around with a name, as it were, it really is a school, isn't it? Because you do have classroom sessions and you also got this modular business, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. When you look at any event, they're all 2 days long. You begin on your very first day with a mixture of classroom, on-circuit activity and workshops. And all the people that are delivering this information are accomplished people within the field of racing. We also have a second day onto the school as well, because they're all 2-day events, and therefore the second day is designed as practice. So there's no more classroom, no more workshop. So what we do is we give you the tools, which give you the confidence, and then we give you the practice that gives you the skill.
Now, I know, interesting you said that. They are all 2-day sessions, are they? Right from the very beginning?
Right from the very beginning. All courses are 2 days. The reason we structured them like that was because we can only do so much practice on circuit within the first day. And what we feel is that once we've given you all of that information, we want to give you an evening in between, a social event with the instructors and the chief instructors, where you can sit down, relax and reflect on your day and plan out your second day. And that way, the whole thing becomes more constructive and bolts together properly.
And then you can just build up. So the true novice can come along, just like a track day. The guy who hasn't done anything before, he can come along in your module 1, yeah?
Absolutely.
And he can stop there if he wants to, can't he?
If he wants to. I mean, they can come in. One thing that we don't do is force people to come in at a level like many other schools do. You're allowed to come in at level 1 or 2 without any form of assessment. But once we go past level 2, we like to have a look at you first. We want to know that you've got some of those basic skills before we start moving you up the levels.
Okay, and where does Neil McKenzie and Frankie Kelly come in? I mean, are they with the novices on day 1?
Absolutely. They're with every single group. They put an awful lot of input into the school, and it's their information that comes in at the higher levels. But when we do each school event, they will spend time with every single group out on circuit, within the classrooms and the workshops. It's only when we get to level 6 do we start saying, well, you can actually spend a whole day one-to-one with Niall or with Frankie.
I'm with you. Now, the important thing, all this sounds very involved, it sounds very expensive, so how does it start? Where do we start with these modules?
It's actually, when you weigh it up over the 2 days, it's very competitively priced. We charge £430 for the full 2-day event. The only thing that you've got to find is your accommodation in between, but we let you know where we're staying, so we all stay as a big group, as a big family if you like. It is an event.
Well, that was the theory, but what about the practice? Let's go and find that man, Neil McKenzie. Neil, the famous Neil McKenzie, turned into a teacher, so this is a bit of a change for you, isn't it?
It is a bit of a change. When I was racing, I was never very keen on passing on any information, particularly to fellow riders. But now that's all over, and I'm happy to come along and do a bit of race tuition at race schools.
So they can learn all your secrets, eh?
Well, there's no great secrets, but I can pass on a few tips and maybe a few shortcuts, and if I can help someone to be safer and get around the racetrack a bit safer, then my job will be done.
Right, now, on the school, I know that it's all split up into different modules, so you can sort of, from the pure novice to the person who really wants to go serious racing. So where do you fit in? Are you available for all of these?
Well, I'll be around at 10 of the dates at the racetracks in the UK. We'll be around most of the racetracks in the UK, not Kiel in Scotland. So I'll be around and I'll be joining in the class sessions and the workshop sessions, and also out in the racetrack. At some point I'll be out with all of the riders during the day on the racetrack.
Yeah, just to polish up their technique or just tell them where they're going wrong, because something that's fascinated me, I mean, true top motorcycle racers must be like artists really, they've got an innate talent, haven't they? There's some people who are never going to make it and others who've got some talent that you can bring along. I mean, is that how it splits?
That's certainly true. I think the riders that make it to the very top, to World Championship level, they are born with a natural talent. But there's a lot of fast riders out there that can have skills that can be honed further, and we can, as I say, we can make them safer, make them faster, and give them more satisfaction if they do turn up at a racetrack, whether it's a track day or to go racing.
Is there a single mistake that you'd say that people make, you know, when they come on a school or a track day? Because I know you've done a bit of instruction on track days before. I mean, is there one big thing that sticks out that you think, oh my God, you know, is there a single thing that people get wrong?
Well, I think they show up and want to go fast on the first lap, and what our school is all about is taking it in easy stages. First assessment, then going out there, having a look, see where we can improve weaknesses and maybe improve even strengths. But the key is not to rush it, and things take time to get going. It takes time to get your body warmed up, to get tyres warmed up, so you can really use a whole day just getting up to the speed for the end of the day.
And I presume you can quickly spot someone, because watching some of the guys going around today, there's a hell of a mixed ability, isn't there, that you get on these days. You get the guy, no matter what his kit's like, he can still wobble around, can't he? And then you get the other guys, very smooth.
Well, yeah, smoothness again is really important. But yeah, I mean, I'm no great wizard. I can't make everyone as fast as Carl Fogarty, but I can get out there and help them and just have a look and see maybe something obvious that they're doing wrong that they're not aware of. Or even a little bit of machine setup if their bike's not handling properly and something's really obvious, and we can help in that area as well.
Excellent. Well, it's good to see you're still involved in bike racing, and I suppose you always will be at some level, so I better leave you to get your kit on.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Neil.
Cheers.
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 After going on circuit on the typical session that they specially set up for us, we then eavesdropped a little bit on Les Wood, one of their chief instructors.
Right, and the incentive of that session, the ideas there were to use your body weight and be aware of your body weight on the bike and using your body weight to steer the bike and use it on the bike. How did you feel it went for you? Any feedback, any input?
I thought it was a lot more stable, just being able to move the weight to one side of the bike. It made a huge difference in the stability of the bike.
It will do. The idea, what we try and get you to do is to try and move your body position. The classic thing people tend to do is breaking into a turn, they brake, bolt upright, and then as they're peeling into the turn, they'll move the body weight to use the body weight to steer the bike. It's too late, upsets all the suspension, we need to get it done early, which I think you found. You were moving your body weight nice and early before the turn, turning in, controlling it, and then sliding it back up on the bike so you're getting the weight over the back wheel as you accelerate out the turn. Great, this is what we're looking for.
Well, as Jeff has already explained, today was not just a race school, there was also a track day taking place, with one rather famous face.
Mr Whittam, how good is this to see you here? And I must say, how nice it is for you to allow Tony Scott, the European Superbike school here, because this is your day, isn't it? This is a speed freak.
That's right, this is a speed freak track day as opposed to a race school.
Yeah.
And yeah, no problem. I know Tony and I know Neil McKenzie and
Because you do, your old mate Neil. But how do you see the difference between the two? Do you see them as complementary? Because I mean, you're now well established. What is it, 5 years you've been running your school?
Yeah, I mean, there is no real big clash really between a race school and our track days. Basically, race schools provide bikes and teach people how to essentially go as fast as possible around the circuit. We rent the circuits and then have a load of guys on their own bikes. We offer them as much or as little advice as what they want. Some people want to come on a track day and fly around with their mates all day, which is fine as long as they don't cause any problems. And other people want a little bit of help. They want a little bit of help with their bike setup. They want to learn how to go a little bit safer or do things that they wouldn't necessarily be safely be able to do on the road. And that's really what we're about.
Because that's the important thing. You're not actually teaching anyone to do anything. I watched your briefing earlier, and you're actually you're warning them of the pitfalls and watch it on this corner and that corner. But it really is up to them, isn't it? And you're just got this sort of fatherly eye on them.
Yeah, I mean, really, most of my days taking up is helping people out in various ways, but we're not essentially a race school. We're a track day where most people come on our days, they just want to go around a circuit and know what it's like to be going around a circuit that they've probably been 15, 20 times to watch a meeting at.
Yeah.
But if somebody does want advice, they want me to follow them around on our own bike, no problem with that. We'll do as much or as little as what people want.
Okay, then, gentlemen. Well, I can see people getting kitted up in the background, so we'll leave you to it. Good seeing you again anyway.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Bye. Well, that's about it. We've got track days if you just want some good, clean fun with your mates. But if you want to go that bit further and perhaps actually take up racing, you've now got your own European Superbike school.
And on Two Wheels next week, you can join Jeff and I here in France with MCI Tours on their 10th anniversary Champagne Tour. We'll be cracking open plenty of this.